Good evening, welcome back. It is Friday, August 4th, 2023. We have a few birthdays and a couple of events here. Um, and these are just really noteworthy events that happen on this race day. There's a few NASCAR races, but there wasn't any event in particular that really stood out to me. So the two events that I found and picked out, I remember one really well. The other one I'm kind of foggy on, but still remember it a little bit. On this day in 1985, at Road America, Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, Jacques Villeneuve, not the 97 Formula One champion, but his namesake uncle, Jacques Villeneuve, won his first kart PPG race on that twisty track. Of course, his namesake nephew would run his first race in 1994, so that's a bit of irony there. On this day in 1991 at Michigan International Speedway, Rick Mears would win the last Champ Car, Indy Car, whatever you want to call it, race of his illustrious career. So moving forward with birthdays, born on this day in 1932, passing away in 2017, we have Mr. Joe Leonard. And this is the only card of Joe Leonard that I had. I looked it up. He'd won a handful of the Champ Car races, never Indianapolis, but he seemed to dominate Milwaukee a lot. So I think he was just one of those drivers that kind of like an Andretti or something, just always had a lot of bad luck. Our next two birthdays are pretty strong birthdays. One is a current NASCAR Hall of Famer. One definitely will be down the road. So let's start with his in 1978, born on this day, former Cup Series and champion and Daytona 500 winner, Kurt Busch. So you see a very, very youthful Kurt Busch in his early days at Roush Racing, and I do have these kind of arranged somewhat chronologically. So he started off in 2000, 2001 with no sponsors, ended up getting Sharpie and Rubbermaid and later Irwin tools, and some of those, what was it, Crown Royal or something. I know Kenseth had Crown Royal, but I can't remember if Kurt had it or not. I think he did. Then in 2005, he got released, went to Penske for a few years in the Blue Deuce. Then he was in one season with the Pennzoil number 22. Then, of course, with his tirade at Homestead that was caught on a cell phone camera, he was released again. Went to race for Phoenix for a little over, not quite a year. Then he went to Furniture Row near the end of that season, stayed with them for the full next season, which I believe was 2013, but had a good run with them, finished 10th in points for the little engine that could. Of course, Truex would take over from him, and the rest is history there. Stuart Haas snagged up Kurt Busch. It was more Gene Haas kind of doing some dealings very sneakily and kind of making Tony Stewart a little bit mad, but Kurt went with that team and won some races there. Then he went over to Ganassi after that, won a few races there. And of course, last year he raced for 23XI before his head injury in that horrible car that NASCAR designed. NASCAR, stay away from designing cars. Just sanction races, write checks, and don't try to play engineer. So a few of Kurt's cars that he's driven, there you see the Irwin car and the Sharpie car when he was with Roush. There's the Blue Deuce. That's one of the Twisted Sister Blue Deuces. Then there's that Pennzoil 22. He was in for a year. Then we go to Stuart Haas. They started with Chevys, then they went to Fords. And then a couple of the Ganassi number 1s. There you see a Monster regular scheme, and then an A.J. Foyt throwback. Very nice there. The other driver, you've literally seen every card that I have of him. Going way back in the videos when I had a deal going with Danny about this driver. Born on this date in 1971, four-time Cup champ, Mr. Jeff Gordon. So I've just plucked a few of them, not really in any random order. Not much needs to be said about him. 93 wins, 4 titles, several poles, wins, lead lap finishes. There he is as a rookie in 91 in the Busch Series. There's his Busch Series Pepsi team with him and Ray Evernham. A Brickyard win. Got one of those element cards with the flames. It's a nice looking Blue Wave Optic from last year. I like the Timeless Treasures. Obsidian, it's a nice looking card. We pulled this one recently, the 92 Black Max. We have a nice Upper Deck. I can't remember what that one is from, 95, 96. Got a Max with his Daytona 500 trophy on it. Couple car cards here. So we have a Monte Carlo. There you see the Quaker State branding. There's an old Lumina right there with the Valvoline and Pyroil, I think, on the C-post. And then a newer Impala or SS or whatever they were racing at that time. They changed models so many times there that all I know is it had a bow tie on the front. It was dressed up and ready to go. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, I didn't want to spend a lot of time on Jeff because what can you say that hasn't been said? Plus, you've literally seen every Jeff Gordon card that I've got at some point or another. If you haven't, go back about 2 years and type in special request Jeff Gordon, something like that. But Danny and I were having some deals going on back and forth where we were... I had some cards that he wanted to kind of help fill some holes in his Jeff Gordon checklist. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy it. Enjoy the rest of your Friday, and we will see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.